Hey, hey, welcome back to another episode of the She's Making an Impact podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Ngom. Today, we are talking with Lesley Pyle. She is the founder and CEO of HireMyMom.com, which is a service connecting small businesses with virtual professionals across the country since 2007. So we talk a lot about hiring, who to hire, how to put like the job application, all that stuff. So if you're like, I'm ready to hire, or I feel like I need somebody because I'm about to explode, then this is a great episode for you. Let's dive in. So let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Lesley. I'm the founder and owner of HireMyMom.com, which is a remote job platform primarily for moms, but anyone can use it. And we cater primarily to small businesses who are looking to hire remote workers. And so started it in 2007. Prior to that, I had another website and began my freelancing career back in
Wow. Okay. So you've
1995.
been doing this for a long time. That's amazing.
Yes. Yep. Right after I had my first baby, she was my whole catalyst to figure out some way to
Okay.
work
I
from
love it.
home.
So let's talk about how to outsource and hire the right way. So, what does it look like for those of us doing everything that want to start outsourcing, and who do we figure out how to
Yeah.
do all the things when we're
Right.
doing it
And I
all?
was in that same place at one time, and it was scary to me. Like, I don't know how to hire. I don't know who I should hire. What does that mean from a legal aspect, accounting, and all of those different things, payroll. And so the first thing I like to tell people is to look for signs that it's time for you to hire. And that number one is your customer service slipping. Are you not keeping up with your clients like you used to? Are you wearing too many hats? Are you trying to do the job of like 10 people? And even if you're a new business, there comes a time when you can no longer do it all. So you're wearing too many hats. You don't have time to do the things that you love, and you really feel like you're shortcutting yourself in areas. Another one is you're working too many hours. So I like to joke that if your kids or your husband's giving you the side eye, then it's probably an indication that you're working too many hours or more than you originally anticipated. Another one is that you don't have capacity to take on new business and new clients, which means you're unable to grow your business. And if you do have team members and they are doing more than you hired them to do, or they are overwhelmed, that's another sign. So those are things to look for. And then when you think, okay, I've answered yes to at least one of those, who do I hire first? So I like to say there are a couple of things. Either look at things that you're not good at or you don't enjoy doing. Like when you dread a certain task, that might be a good one to outsource, or you're just not good at it. It's not your skill set. So if you really are great at marketing and business growth, and that's where you want to focus, then hire someone else to do administrative tasks or accounting or social media or some of the other things in your business. And it's also important to know that you don't have to hire someone full time. You can start out with 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, because there are plenty of freelancers out there who are eager to take on those roles because they may have 2 or 3 other clients. So that just fits right in with what they're doing, and they have the capacity to take on new business. And you're learning from their roles in other businesses. So what they learn working for, one person, they can bring back to you and say, hey, have you ever considered doing this or this? Because I've learned that that's a great way to do whatever the role is. So it really is an advantage to have someone who is working for other people, in my opinion.
Yeah. So let's say we have an online business and we want to have our first hire. What do you think is like the first thing we should look for?
As far as a role, I think a lot of times for the small business owner, it's a virtual assistant or an executive assistant, someone who can take off those daily tasks off of your plate. That might be answering emails, which is a huge one for almost every business owner, answering calls or text, however your business is set up, working with, setting up maybe meetings for your clients, doing some of that back end client and customer service roles. So those are a great way to simplify your day so that you can again focus on business growth and taking good care of the clients that you want to be in contact one-on-one with.
What would you say to people who they don't want to let go of control?
I say in order to grow your business, you're going to have to, because you're only one person and you cannot do everything. If you're looking to grow your business, now some people may be content right where they are and they have 5 clients and they don't want to grow, and they are able to carry and take care of everything, and that might work great for them. But for those that are looking to expand, take on new clients, grow their business to new levels, scale, I'd say, it can be scary, but once you've done it the first time, that scariness, I think, is greatly reduced. I think it's more of the fear of the unknown. And, once you've done it, and one of the things we've offered now to our small business clients is just a short course, Hiring Made Easy, because it just goes through all of the things that, as far as job post and interviewing and pay rate and onboarding and things like that they're not rocket science, but it's things that we don't typically do in our daily life. So learning that first time, there is a bit of a learning curve, but it's not difficult.
Yeah. How do you make sure you hire the right person?
I think that starts with having a great job post. And so we see everything from a 1 or 2 sentence job post, which I do not recommend, to like a 3-page book, which I don't recommend. I think a job post is somewhere in the middle. So you want to share enough information that entices someone to apply, but not so much information that you repel people from reading through the entire book, basically. So I think it's important to share the values of the company and the mission so that you find people that align with what you are, and who you are and what your business does. So, if you're a Christian business, then putting, we're a Christian business, and legally you can't say you have to be a Christian to be hired, but, if they are a Christian, that's going to align with them. And those sorts of things are important, I think, to attract the right candidates. So sharing your mission statement, what your company does, and obviously then you want to include the roles and responsibilities for the job. Are there any unique benefits working for your company? Like, are there opportunities to grow? Do you take off certain days? Do you take off certain holidays? Do you invest in your employees and provide any training? Do you celebrate any kind of accomplishments? Do you value independence? Do you like collaboration? Is it a fun work environment, or is it more serious? And those again just help, attract the right type of candidate for you. And I think, sometimes we see job posts that they are asking them to take a test or send a video. And those are great, but I think sometimes it's better in round 2. So if you want to have them do those sorts of things, I think if you do that initially, you will prevent some people from applying, because it is very time consuming and they don't know if they have any chance at all of being considered. So if you make it through round 1, then I think people are more willing to say, okay, yeah, I made it. They've seen my initial resume and cover letter and they like that. So now they want me to take a test or submit a video, and people are more likely to do it. We have a job post right now where they're asking for a video, and they've only gotten like 4 applicants. I'm like, if they can just ask that second, this person can't say what you already get. It's the about the job out there. Just really, really powerful and experience that you carry. So yes,
What are
red for is preference are super important, because you learn what it was like to work with them. And I also think if they haven't had, this is not a red flag to me if they have a gap where they haven't worked for so many years, because perhaps they've been staying at home taking care of their kids. But if they've had multiple jobs where they didn't last very long, that can be a red flag. Now, obviously there are times when there's good reason why they left, but when there's multiple in a row, I think it begs the question, what happened and why did you leave this 3 or 4 jobs after only a few short months?
Yeah. Okay. Who can we find at hiremymom.com?
Yeah, some of the roles, again, one of the most common that we see is virtual assistant, someone to do your, day-to-day things, customer service, bookkeeping, accounting, social media management, graphic design, writing, editing, blog writing, marketing, email marketing, project management, Facebook ads, online business manager, account manager, and pretty much anything you can think of that a small business needs.
Awesome. What are some of the lessons you've learned from building out this business?
Oh, good. That's a good question. Some of the lessons I've learned, where there's a will, there's a way. When I started out 28 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sure some of you business owners listening can relate to that. Like you just decide to start something and you go for it. And that's kind of what happened to me because I had a baby, went back to work, cried every day, and soon, shortly realized that, okay, I cannot do this. I thought I could, but I can't. And then I just hit the ground running. So I think, just having that passion, for me, it was to be home with my baby. And then it developed into a passion to help other moms who wanted to figure out a way to work from home, have that freedom and flexibility. And it also became another passion to help small business owners because I became a small business owner who needed a team. So it gave me that passion too for small businesses who are early in the journey of having a small business and just learning how to hire, who to hire, and grow their business.
Amazing. What's one of the best books you've read?
Obviously, the Bible is my favorite. But last year, the book that stood out to me the most was a book called Resilient by John Eldredge. And when I first picked it up, I was in a small group. I thought, oh, I don't know if I really need this. Isn't that funny how we can be so prideful at times? And it was all about, how hard COVID, what it did to us internally, our souls, and just the damage it did, basically. And are we resilient? Like if something else happened again, would we be resilient? Because it took a lot of us, took time to get through that and over that because it was kind of traumatizing, all the different things that we were experiencing. So that book, I've already read it once and I'm like halfway through it again because it just was so good. And just he had one chapter in there on God as mother. And, we always think of God as father, and it was just that nurturing side of God, and it was just so impactful. I just was like eating it up. I loved it.
Yeah. What does it mean to you to make an impact?
It means knowing that I'm helping other women find a way to prioritize their families, their faith, their children, and, have an option other than working outside of the home full time. And also being able to leave that legacy for my family and hopefully future generations of not being ashamed of who you are as a Christian and just being vocal about it, as a business owner and hopefully leading others to want what you have.